Good day, good people. It's Rusty Money here on PlayStation Network and Rusty Money Gaming on YouTube. We are here to show you another Rusty's opinion with logs and forks. But this is geared more towards a manure fork attachment. Now, each one of these machines don't have the same device. So like in 19, most of these had all of the same attachments with very similar names. I should say had very similar attachments but had the same names. So this here isn't called a manure fork on the wheel loader. And then I think, let's see, there was one other one I think that wasn't called a manure fork, but let's look at that quick here. I'll show you what I'm all talking about. If we go into wheel loaders, there isn't one that's just called a manure fork. There's a silage fork, but there's this thing called the Hulk 300, which also will pick up manure and silage. So I'm using this one for the wheel loader to compare to the other machines. So now with the telehandler, it has a manure fork, but its manure fork has a grapple on it, like this here. So we're going to use that one, but I'm not going to put the grapple down on the logs in this showcase here. And then the skid steer, or no, let's go to the front loaders. Front loader tools, they actually have what's called a manure fork right there, and it's labeled as a manure fork. And then the skid steer, it also has what's called a manure fork, but it's also got the grapple as well. So the other interesting thing that as to why I'm doing this, everybody, is just because in FS19 I was trying to do survival challenges, lifting logs with other things besides the big bag lifter from the CSZ pack. And I really had a lot of fun lifting logs and trying to balance the log on pallet forks. Just trying to make it more of a challenge. So that's what this is all about, really, to see which one of these is better at picking up a log. So if you're ever curious, you'll know which one, in my opinion, is the best. The other thing I want to say is usually the pallet fork is the cheapest option. Now here in 22, that's not as well the case, but it's still a cheap option because it's usually something you're going to use right away on your farm as a pallet fork compared to other attachments. So if we look at that really quick, we'll just look at the wheel loader here quick, because the one we're going to show is this Hulk, and it's 4,500. This is the manure fork, okay? But also the pallet fork now for the wheel loader, it's $2,500. Now in the wheel loader category, you can see that it is the cheapest, is the pallet fork. Now if we go to the telehandler, you can see that the pallet fork here is $2,000, And then the manure fork is 3,400. And the bale fork is only 900 bucks. So I'm going to be checking out these bale forks as well. But yeah, the bale fork is actually the cheapest in the telehandler category. Now let's look at the front loaders. So on the front loaders, your manure fork is 1,500. And the pallet fork is 1,700. So when it comes to front loaders, if you're going to try and lift logs, actually, the manure fork is the cheapest by $200. But the real cheap option, if it would pick up a log, and I don't think it will based off of the front loader's design for the bale spike, but the bale spike is actually cheap as chips. It's only 600 bucks. But I don't think this attachment will probably pick up a log. But you know what? I'm going to give it a try. But I don't think it's going to work. Because your bottom spike's going to hit the ground and it's going to stop that top spike from grabbing grip. So, yeah, I don't think the bale spike for front loaders will work. So, oh yeah, now the skid steer. The skid steer, the pallet fork's 800 bucks. Right here, $800 for the pallet fork, but in the skid steer, the bale spike is also the cheapest. It's $600. And then your manure fork is $2,100. Now, I have no doubt that this telehandler and these bobcats can pick up a log because they got the grapple. But again, I'm not going to use the grapple to show what I like to do here. So first off, we're just going to do these skid steers. And I will just tell you that when it comes to these skid steers and doing this, yeah, they're rubbish. Because this manure fork, it just will not get under that log. It just won't slide under it at all. Yeah, it's just rubbish. It won't work. I've tried and tried and tried, and yeah, it just will not grab. Now, let's try the other one here quick, just to show you, because usually, and everything I've done so far, this bigger bobcat actually, even though the design of its lifting mechanism is different than how the other skid steer lifts its front loader, it still won't quite get underneath that log. Yeah, it's not good for this. So the skid steer won't work very well with the manure fork to lift a log. Other than now, I do completely understand, like I've said, that a lot of people like to do this when it comes to lifting a log, but to me, I don't know in real life because I'm not a logger. I'm just a police officer for almost 22 years now. But in real life, I can't imagine that logs are picked up that way in all cases. I would think that that would be a huge weight distribution safety issue. I would believe that all logs in realism would be picked up like this and then grappled, not from over the top. So again, that is the way I like to pick up logs, is from scooping them up. That is more of a survival in my opinion. So now we'll move on to this telehandler. Actually, you know what? No, let's not do the telehandler. Let's do the front loader. Okay, now the front loader really surprised me here, because I will tell you that all four of these other machines, this front loader, the wheel loader, the front loader attachment for a small tractor or any tractor, and the telehandler, they all pretty much would get under a log with the manure fork really well. Just like you see there, and we can lift it up, no problem. Now, the one that really I was surprised about, that I didn't think would get under a log, actually, because its design for what I'm saying is a manure fork, but it's called the Hulk, is here, the wheel loader. And I just didn't think it would be able to get under these logs, because these tines are a lot bigger in diameter. So yeah, let's just show you here. This one really impressed me. I think now, if you did it right, I think a guy could probably pick up 2 or 3 logs laying side by side with this thing, load them on a trailer, and not have any worry about them falling off because of how big that fork is. But this one really slips right underneath the log, just like you saw there. Okay, now we'll just show you here. Let's do the tractor. Yeah, now all of these slip under these logs really well, like I said here. So I think that in challenges, if I have the money instead of a pallet fork, I think I'm going to look for using a manure fork. It hits so easy. Which I'm sure some of you probably have already tried some of this, but this is just something that I've wanted to do, and I just haven't had time to really look into it very much. Alright, let's try this telehandler. The telehandler now, it surprised me with the pallet fork. It was the best one. But now let's see here how this grapple does. And see, that grapple gets right under the log, no problem. So this grapple is better than the grapple for the skid steers, in my opinion. And basically, they're probably this pretty much kind of the same design, but they look different. See, you can just, yeah, you can toss a log with this thing. What I mean by that is we can get right underneath of it here. You can just, yeah, you can just flip that baby. Anyway, yeah, just, that is the manure forks, everybody, and logs. So really, I didn't find one that's, with these 4 machines anyway, the telehandler, front loader, a small tractor, and a wheel loader, I really didn't, in my opinion, find out of the 4 one that really sticks out, other than, in my opinion, the wheel loader really sticks out with this Hulk fork. It is awesome at picking up logs. And then these other 3, they rank about the same. And now again, I also realize, yeah, the telehandler's got the grapple, and people like picking up logs from over the top of the log. But anyway, with that said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you would, leave me a tasty one which is better known by myself as a cop battery and you all people as a donut, on that like button. Leave us a delicious comment in the comment section, and don't forget to share a box of donuts by sharing the videos and the streams with all your friends and family. But with that said, everybody, we'll see you on the flip side. Have a good one.